Hey, here we are again on another Monday night. And we are not only about to be recorded, but we are being recorded as we speak. And here we are, a Monday. I had this conversation with Bugs this morning, and he decided he wanted to be on the webinar. It is Monday, and let's jump right in and get underway. I know we've got a few things to talk about today, and a couple of things that we weren't planning on talking about, but we'll go there anyway. We've got a number of opportunities in the business, and our tokens are coming right along just fine. Okay, so here we are, 13th of February, 2023. zeniq, Safir, Tupan, Avanok, T-Drones, AU4U. We've got the whole shooting match here with us. Remember, everyone goes forward together. And boy, don't we mean it. We've spent a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that we actually do what we say and mean what we say. Everyone goes forward together. Remember, we are expressing our view as affiliates of a number of companies only. We do not represent these companies, and we're not giving financial advice. We are simply sharing with you the processes and opportunities that we have discovered, and if you choose to take advantage of them, it's entirely up to you. So let's look at the token roadmap. Now, we've had some questions recently about how this token is actually going to be handled. That would be the AU4U token, and how it's going to transition from physical metal as it is today into digital metal, and is that compulsory, et cetera, et cetera. So tonight I thought we'd just run through this process so you've got an understanding of what it will look like. Now, there will be some tweaks in this as we go along, because we're just now negotiating the technical back end of it. But this is a quick, simple look at how it will work. So everybody is going to have a balance in the vault, something. Might be 31 grams, might be 3 kilos, whether it's gold or silver, it's irrelevant. This is simply an example of how this works. So your vault balance will be here in Redcliffe in a private vault. It's metal, it's real. I go over there every now and then and touch it and fondle it and look kindly upon it, all those sorts of things that you need to do to keep your pets happy. But then the blockchain came along, and we were looking for an opportunity or a way to include people in other countries. And there was a couple of people in England, one in Ireland, that wanted to join our business and buy metal, et cetera, et cetera. And I kept thinking, this is easy. What else do we need to do other than ship it to them if they want to withdraw it? Well, that was true, except how were we going to ship it to them? As soon as we started to organise freight, the price of the freight went through the roof. Unbelievably. As soon as you put bullion on a weigh bill, you add a couple of zeros to the end of the freight bill. So we realized early on we needed a blockchain solution. So how this is going to work is, when we're ready to go onto the blockchain, you will get an option form from AU4U by email. And it will be a form that you can fill out online so that you can decide whether you want to stay in Australia with physical metal or switch over into the digital system. Now, just because you switch into the digital system does not mean you're surrendering any gold, you're not surrendering any rights to any gold or silver. It doesn't mean anything other than if you switch into the digital system, you have the ability to manage it yourself on your phone. And you can then deal with it, whether you're selling it, whether you're keeping it. You can opt in to have it delivered, all those sorts of things will all still be the same. But if it's digital, you have control. It's not tied to the vault where you've got to go and ask permission to do a withdrawal, et cetera, et cetera. You have control. That's what we like about it. So once the form has been received and approved by email, you need to select that the system will send you the tokens to your wallet. And that is how you will actually get access to the tokens. Now, we're going to just step through some simple outlined steps tonight so you have a vague understanding of how this is going to work. So if you select tokens, communication will come through the Nomo app, that is the new zeniq app, requesting your wallet address for tokens. That, in fact, will mean that you will have an app that looks a bit like that, and you will have AU4U and AG4U tokens listed in that app. Now, we haven't done this yet, and we're planning it all as we speak, but the key is you must have the Nomo app installed. Now, if there's two members of a family that are in AU4U and you want to use a single wallet address to convert those tokens, we can do that. As long as everybody agrees and everybody signs off on it and everyone knows what's happening, that can be done. But this is what it will look like. You will get those tokens in your app on your phone. They're very cool. After completion of the KYC process and the address verification, because you're going to need to provide the address for your wallet on your phone. And once that's all been verified and confirmed, the tokens will arrive in your wallet there where we showed them before. So you can see there the AU4U, there's 1,000 showing and 10,000 silver tokens. Now, those ones, whilst they're real tokens, they're not actually showing any value because I haven't set a value to them as yet. This is the manual ones that I created in Dubai while I was there. This is not the tokens that are listed on the smart contract. But this will give you an understanding of how this process works. Remember, you must have the Nomo zeniq app installed to receive them. Now, if you're sweating on this and you are someone that has a toy phone, an iPhone, you won't be able to install it yet because it's not available. It has been uploaded to the App Store on the Apple system, but they are still not approved. And that's a process that's got to go through. Is the KYC address your blockchain address or physical address? Blockchain address as part of it. On that KYC process, you will need name, address, phone number, all the normal KYC stuff, but then you will need, there will be a place on the form to put your blockchain address. And Martin, no, it is not available, apparently, as of this afternoon, as I asked Mr. Langford to wedge in between his bottles of red wine and see if he can find it, and it's not there yet. It's got to be there any day. It's just been ridiculous. It's been a month since it was uploaded. And yes, good. Thanks, Martin. Just try it again yourself. It will be there within days, I promise you. And it's been just a nightmare trying to get them to approve it. I know when we did the Easy Shopping Cards app, they kept coming back with all sorts of questions that were completely irrelevant, but they felt they needed to have them answered. So that process will be completable online. Now, I say that because we pretty much know everybody that's connected to this and that will be going down this process. And Martin, I'm sure, has just typed in the chat window there that he's going to supply wine to make sure that this happens smoothly. There is not a whole lot that can go wrong, but we will need to be absolutely certain that we have the right address, etc., etc. Hasn't helped so far. Thanks, Martin. But we are working this week on organising more technical thoughts in the background of this so that we will have more and more definable points of information that we can share with you. Bear in mind, this has never been done before by anybody else in the world. It just has never happened before. So once again, we find ourselves in an environment where we're playing with cutting edge technology, and we are attempting to get this done as quickly and as smoothly as possible. But I am very excited that this is coming to fruition, because it will make a massive difference to all of us. So this process is going to take some time, and you will get updates through the process as we're coming closer and closer. Just remember that if you select tokens, your metal will be stored in Singapore. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get it, doesn't mean it's not safe, but it means you have control over whether you convert it into cash or not, rather than somebody at a vault or somebody like me that's got to answer a phone or send an email. You have control of it. You will still be able to get your metal delivered from Singapore. Members that are in Europe will get their metal delivered from Dubai, and everything will still work as described, as before. We've just come up with some solutions that make it work really, really smoothly, and I'm very happy with it. Members who opt to keep their metal in Brisbane in the vault will have that option. There'll be no requirement to have one or the other. You can choose. And it's going to absolutely depend on what you want to do and how you want to do it. You will make that decision yourself, because that is your choice. It's your metal. You can choose to keep it in a vault or on your phone. Either one works as far as the organisation is concerned. As far as the blockchain is concerned, doesn't matter. You get to choose where you want it to be. I think that's a really cool thing. Benefits. Benefits of having it here in Brisbane is you can go and pick it up. If you live on the east coast of Australia, you can actually drive there and organise for it to be picked up, and we can meet you in the coffee shop across the road and get you to sign all the forms, and you can drive away with that metal. But if it's on the phone, you can actually sell it. If you need the cash, you can sell it on your phone, and the margins are much, much smaller. So you've got more chance of actually making a profit if it's in a digital format. Now, we've been talking about a couple of new technologies that are coming out. So SIDI was the real estate project that's just recently hit its straps, and today we're just going to run through a couple of things. You can see that there are 5 mini projects there that they're working on, and they will all come together as part of the project. If you have a SIDI license, you have tokens in all of them, but we wanted to go through and keep up to date with the news so that you can absolutely have an understanding of what's happening. Martin, I think you're asking about the commission benefits with the tokens. There'll be almost zero benefits from the tokens to anybody else other than the owner. So the system is designed to look after the people that own that metal. And we will have other commission and income streams from the turnover of the tokens from people all over the world. But Your metal will be yours. So this project has been ongoing for a little while now. They just started minting. So let's have a look at what the steps are. So remember, this first one is in Austria. Those that stay in Australia, same. They will own their own metal, and there'll be no commissions paid to anybody off their metal. If they want to go and turn it into money or pick it up in a brick and take it home, it'll be their metal. So we've built this entire system from the ground up so that the people that own the metal are the ones that get the benefit. So this real estate project is in Austria, and as you know, in the Northern Hemisphere, it gets a tad brisk in the wintertime. And I've been in London in the middle of one of their winters, and one of the guys that I knew from my sister's household, he was a bricklayer, and to see them going off to lay bricks in the middle of a blistering sleet storm was amazing. Thanks, Cassie. Yes, the BV will increase the turnover. So you're right about that. So it is in Austria and it's cold, but construction of sub-project 1 has started. And if you want to find out more about what's going on, go into your dashboard, go to SIDI and then About, and it will bring up a whole lot of information there that you can read and look at. It shows a PDF on the project, etc. And you can see that that building right there is Project 1. It's the first building of Project 1 that they're building. And you'll be shocked to discover that it looks like a building that's under construction anywhere in the world. What an amazing option. But you can see it seems to be reasonably well built. It's brick, double brick, maybe well-insulated walls. They're quite thick, and I'd suspect they're well-insulated because it gets just a little bit cold there. I had a friend who lived in Austria, in fact still lives there. One Christmas we were having a conversation and he was telling me about, it was a little bit cold where he was, and I said, oh, look, last winter it was freezing here. We thought we were all going to die. He said, well, how cold did it get? And I said, it got down to 10 degrees. There was silence for a while on the chat window, and then he says, I've got a good mind to swim to Australia to stab you for that. And then he sent a picture of out of his main window at his house, and there was just icicles hanging out of the trees. It was -12 or something. It's just ridiculous. It's a tad brisk over there in the wintertime. Oh, well, you can't help bad luck. So there's 10,000 euros up for grabs. Anyone want to have a go at earning 10,000 euros? It's pretty cool way to do it. They want people to make a video about the 2-pan drones. What do you like about it? What makes it extraordinary? What are the benefits, etc., etc.? We might have to get Cassie to go and do a little video at the fire front, which is just up the road from her place, and tell everyone how good they would be if they were all firefighting equipment, and we could use them to bomb water onto these fire fronts, because you would have no people at risk in the drone. They are very cool. So the conditions are the video has to correspond to the theme, should be original and short, maximum 5 minutes. So it's quite interesting the way they do this. What it does is it gets them a lot of reference and in YouTube, etc., gets them a lot of connections. The video has got to be published on YouTube. And if you have a Gmail address, you by default have a YouTube channel. If you go up in the top right and click on the little, one of the buttons up there, I can't remember what it looks like, and it will give you an option, a whole bunch of things, one of which is YouTube. So you should go and do that. You send the link to the video and your Safir username to videocontest@safir.com, and you go into the draw for €10,000 prize. That's pretty cool. And it has been my experience over the years that these type of contests get very little participation. So if you're interested in doing it, you've got a really good chance to win it. And €10,000 is a chunk of money. It's just amazing that they're doing it, but they've done it before. I saw them do one about 8 or 9 months ago. So if you're at all interested and need help, reach out to someone that can actually give you some help, show you how to do it. It doesn't have to be flash. In fact, the ones that I've seen in the past that have won these prizes have been very rudimentary, I suppose, the way to do it. Someone's got a phone, doing a selfie, talking, background, all that sort of stuff. And €10,000 worth having a shot at. Yeah, Martin, give it a shot. So remember, having a look at silver. Cassie has some of these silver kangaroos. As I said last week, they should be $65, but I know they're cheaper than that. Give Cassie a call if you want to pick some up. They are uncirculated, still in the plastic column. Got a good head for radio. But Martin, you've got a very attractive looking dog. You could put him in the video. Okay. As a result of the news last week about the coin minting being possibly redirected directly into the app, then you could think about why you would do that. But the idea is, if you've got a bunch of tokens and you want to cash some out to do something like buy a license for T-Drone or something like that, you've got to be able to get them into the zeniq Nomo app. And if you're going to get them into that anyway, you might as well have them go directly into the app. And we are experimenting with how that actually works. There's more news to follow on that over the next couple of weeks. I've just been sent quite lengthy video on what the plan is, but it should in fact give us the ability to move our coins and tokens directly into the Nomo app, convert them into USDT or Bitcoin or whatever, and you can move them onto an exchange and cash them out. So we're attempting to do that this week, and I'll give you an outcome of that in the following next Monday's webinar, where we can actually get something like that to happen. And yes, Martin, I'm glad you put that in there. Tupan, really, I keep going on about this, but I really am very proud of being associated with this option. As soon as we get through the zeniq app process, I will be trying to get this underway with Odile from Brazil. Hopefully we can meet somewhere, or he can come here or whatever, see if we can't get this organised. Be great to see it happen. So remember, zeniq is the blockchain, Safir is the people system, Tupan, Avanok, and T-Drone, and SIDI, and Remembrance, and then we got AU4U. We have got a whole lot of options in the fire right now, and it's pretty exciting. I keep laying awake at night thinking about these drones, and I know Bob and Irene, I was talking to them the other day, and Bob wants one of these big drones, and me too. So maybe we'll have dueling drones somewhere where we can fly around the countryside and shout at people from reasonably fast-moving vehicles. The blockchain map still working. It's still doing the things that it's doing, and just simply that's just a bit of a map to show you that everything is still happening. as described, still working. Is anyone still in doubt? I've got no idea that we knew, apparently. And what we're doing is we are tokenizing assets. And I know I was talking to a gentleman just a few days ago overseas, and he said, well, what is it that you're actually doing? And I said, we're tokenizing assets. And he had no idea what I was talking about. So I had to go back to square one and describe to him the concept of converting a physical process with contracts, et cetera, into tokens. And that, once he understood that, he went, oh yeah, now I get it. There's all sorts of legal issues that will come out of this, like how do you do it with real estate? If I tokenize a house and then I sell all the tokens, I haven't actually sold the house, I've sold the tokens. So is there or is there not stamp duty, etc.? How far away is the zeniq exchange? I think it's about, I'll know more tonight, Martin, when I finish this webinar, but I'm figuring it's about 3 to 6 months away before the full-blown exchange goes live. It is really accelerating along. I know that our work with what we're doing with zeniq to get our tokens organised has been waylaid a number of times by what they're doing with the exchange. So we're moving along. As soon as I get some news, we'll talk about it on a Monday night. So a couple of quick things. To everyone in the Ukraine, look, we hope that situation gets resolved quickly. And I was thinking about that today, and then I thought, you know what? If we're thinking about people in a fire zone, we should think about our own responders here. And just to get some perspective, here's a map of where the fire front is near where Cassie is. Now, that little red box there is about where I grew up. And quite interesting to think that when we were kids, we'd wander off up the paddock on a Saturday afternoon to see how many death adders we could find just because we had nothing to do. And if you think about kids doing that today, people would go crazy if they knew their kids were out chasing snakes. And this is about the area where Cassie's office is. So it's not too far from that fire front. And as she said in the chat window, she's got lots of family members that are out there fighting fires. And quite sadly, it looks like most of them were set by arsonists. And they've arrested a couple of them that were caught. And we'll just see where that goes. But that's not too far away. And in the country, I know that country quite well. It's the type of country that you can run a fire front through it right quick, because with a bit of wind behind it, it will jump through the heads of the trees. So has anybody got any questions about the fire and all that sort of stuff? Maybe not. Temperature readings in the emergency vehicles, Cassie was telling me, got as high as 60 degrees. That's hot. I mean, that is hot. If you can actually survive in a 60-degree zone and work, think about how that would feel. I know people in the US that did a test with one of the universities, and they went into 50 degrees and they didn't last very long. So these firefighters are working in extraordinary environments, and yet outside road temperature, 60 degrees. Yowzers. Don't walk about in bare feet. Your little pinky toes will get a little scorched. Maybe if we had a bunch of T-drones, firefighting would be a whole lot easier. on exhibit in the terminal when I was there not too many weeks ago. And they are a very cool looking device. And they have quite a big cargo bay in the body. It's a lift body with a cargo bay. That one of the things they designed them to do was carry water bombs. So it would be great if we could remove a lot of the risk to some of these firefighters. I know Cassie's grandson has twice been in a situation in the last few days where the fires jumped over the top of him and they still managed to get out. So much as we like to talk about the Ukraine, etc., we need to just spend a minute and contemplate what's happening with our own local people. And yes, Cassie, the fire front itself is way hotter. I've been in a bushfire situation myself many years ago, and I can tell you, you think your skin is going to blister off when you're trying to put out something. So good luck to everybody that's there. We hope you all survive it and come through well. So let's have a look at how our world is going. Well, here is Mr. Heiser, Florian Heiser, and he has put together some great videos this week. And this one is about side hustles. And it was quite interesting. He read it out of Yahoo News, and it was because the environment economically is getting quite tight. Yahoo put out a news release that said, he's away, a bunch of ideas to make $30,000 a year in a side hustle. And when he was going through them, reading them, they were absolutely stupid, some of them. But anyway, it was worth listening, and was good to see that some businesses had actually started to acknowledge that there is a problem in our economy. Silver in serious danger of being completely out of stock. And I know that this has been going through the headlines for a while. This guy is documenting what's happening in South America, what's happening in North America, and what's happening in Ukraine. And yep, at some point in the very near future, silver has to go ballistic. So pay attention. Here we are with Lynette Zhang, and she's on Kitco News, and she's saying it's too late to stop hyperinflation in America. It's going to happen. And she's got a very long history of being involved in economic predictions, and she's into precious metals in a big way. So that's an interesting listen as well. Here's another Kitco News. Frank Gustra, I think is how you say it. He thinks that artificial intelligence, as lots of people are talking about these days, is paving the way for central bank digital currencies. And as he termed it, a scary as hell future. So he's talking about getting physical assets and staying out of that environment. Here we are with Daniela Camboni on one of the research programs. And she's got Lynette Zhang on as well, talking about what the central banks are doing and what they know, et cetera, et cetera. Again, another really good listen. And here we are with Smart Silver Stacker talking about how the world is dumping US dollars for gold as we speak. And we kind of know that's been happening for a while. It's just getting more and more concentrated. Remember, the links to all of these videos will be in the description on the YouTube channel. And I have to say, that's a really interesting collection of videos to listen to. Takes a bit of time. What I usually do is I put them on if I'm going in the car. I put the earphones on or put the sound through the car, and off I go and listen to it as I'm driving along or as I'm walking around, etc. What is going to happen next? And when you throw into all of that, the latest reports that somebody has come up with the idea that the US blew up the Nord Stream 1 or 2 gas pipelines in Europe to force some sort of confrontation with Russia. And who knows if it's true or not? I certainly don't. I haven't seen any evidence that said yes or no, but there's, CIA has admitted it, have they, Martin? I haven't seen that bit yet. But that's pretty unbelievable if they have done it. But hey, our Secret Service has done the same thing in different places. According to my wife, she's a reliable source. Good work. Okay, but look, be aware, people, there's a lot of things happening in the world, and we're just happen to be in the right place to take advantage of this mess. It is completely free to get the Nomo app. You can download it for free. Coins, token minting starts at 100 euros and up. Stay focused on the package, gold, silver, crypto, as long as it's on the zeniq blockchain. And when you think about what sort of crypto, we're actually not talking about cryptocurrency, we're talking about asset-backed tokens. And that makes a massive difference to what we can do. Why are we here? Because we're a group of like-minded people that are focused on economic survival. And I got to tell you, everything that I'm seeing is giving me goosebumps, because everything that we have talked about in the past is changing. Everything we knew as normal has gone fishing. And everything we've ever talked about is coming true. Right, Martin is saying check out Redacted on YouTube and Rumble. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Martin, I haven't found that one yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's us for tonight. Anybody got any questions about anything that we've talked about tonight? We can answer them. $55 each, Cassie's saying, for the coins that she has in stock. And let's hope that we haven't missed out anything tonight. Anybody got putting any hands up, typing? I'd be just unmuting and talking if it was me, because my typing is not. Can you choose to have gold tokens as well as digital? Okay, Miss Jenny, you're going to have to clarify that. Gold tokens are digital. Okay. The benefits of having the gold here in Brisbane is you can drive and pick it up. And in Singapore, you have it on your phone, so you can get it sent to you, but you can't drive and pick it up because there's a little bit of water between here and Singapore. Jenny, gold as well as tokens. Yes, you can do that. There'll be a way to do that. So you can do 6 of one and a half dozen of the other, as they say. The benefits of having the tokens is you have control of it. And the benefits of having the gold in the vault here is that you can drive somewhere to pick it up. It's not it's not swim for 27 days to get to Singapore to wander into the free port and get it. Great questions, folks. Okay, don't see any more questions coming up. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We will have another one next Monday night, and I will have a whole heap more news from the webinars that I'm sitting in on over the next 48 hours. Functionally, no difference other than the margin when you sell the tokens, Martin. Much smaller margins in the tokens digitally because you have control of it. You don't have to go to a vault and cash them in. You can do it instantly online, but it's gold nonetheless. So that side of it is no different at all. Okay, thanks everybody. I hope you've enjoyed tonight, and we look forward to seeing you on the golden beaches of the world. Have a great night.